Welcome to the Land Cave. I'm Patrick. Celebrating Christmas still, because why not? I got my Christmas onesie on, which is fun. And Owen's not here today, but I thought I'd go through some news with you and, kind of celebrate a little bit. So feel free to join in on the chat if you're hanging out with us. See, David's hanging out. So David, let us know if you got any video games for Christmas or any movies or anything. You've been out of the gaming thing, so any movies, TV shows, let us know. Anyways, got some interesting news this week, but I did want to start off by saying we will be talking about The Rise of Skywalker next week. We were planned on trying to do it this week, but we both have seen it. We both have mostly positive things to say about it. I think Owen has more positive things to say than I do. There's a few things that I didn't like, but I feel like most of that is regarding the setup of the new Star Wars movie, and what they left us with 8, and the overall structure of the trilogy having changed hands and so many things shift to within Episode 8. It's hard to to get a win here, but I thought it was fun. I thought it was good. We also got The Witcher, which I'm really liking. I will say, if you've not read the books or played the games, it's still good. You don't have to know about those and when you go in. In fact, it's more based on the books than it is the video game series. So I would totally, still check this out. The only thing that I would say can be a little hard to understand is there's a lot of these Polish names and mythology that The Witcher draws from. So some of that can be a little jarring to people. David's in the comments saying that I've mainly been watching Mandalorian. Gonna check out Witcher. Yeah, dude, you got to check out Witcher. Yeah, and just finished another episode of LandCave 10 minutes ago. That's awesome, David. Well, we appreciate it. David, are you watching us on YouTube or listening to the podcast or just on Facebook? So we're trying to improve all those anyways. Also, we got some news, by the way. Redbox has announced, which we missed this in our news. Redbox announced they're no longer going to be carrying games, and if you go onto Redbox's site right now, you can search for games. They're selling them at a pretty decent discount because they're getting out of the games business. They're going to be focusing on movies, which I think. I think that's a good idea from a business standpoint. I've been watching a lot of Dragon's Den, which is like Shark Tank, but in the UK. Having watched that, I'm like, I know that video games have a higher price point to purchase the disc, and you're renting them out for almost the same price, and their value drops significantly quick. In just a few months, the value of a video game can drop. So some people may or may not want to rent it anymore. They may just go pick it up for $20 or $30. So I think this was it's unfortunate because I think it's a very convenient business model for Redbox, but that's what's happening when you have decent digital sales and you have access to things like Amazon, or some people who just wait to buy the games. There's a lot of people who are doing that. I'm one of them, but there's a lot of people who don't have the disposable income to buy all the games, and when they do, they do it this, or they go Steam. Steam's cheap, and there's other ways to save. There's lots of ways to save money, and then the other big elephant in the room of being Xbox and the Xbox Game Pass, because if you have Xbox Game Pass, you get access to most of these games with your subscription. So I think that's probably the best deal. Owen and I have been talking about that. If you haven't been playing games in a while and you've got like $170 to throw down, you can get an Xbox One S. I think it's the S. You can get they're all no, it's not the S. It's all the discless version. You can buy a discless Xbox One with Xbox Game Pass for $10, I think it's $10, $15 a month, and you get access to all of the games. It's a crazy deal, and you get access to the games right when they launch on Xbox. You get access to some of these, so that's the deal to check out. Speaking of Xbox, by the way, Phil Spencer was talking about Digital Foundry. Digital Foundry did a recent article on Xbox Series X, and Phil said, Digital Foundry does good work as Moore's Law slows down. Our perf ambitions increase. It leads to design innovation. Software innovations like VRS will also be critical. A lot of what they're talking about here in the Digital Foundry article deals with transistors and Moore's Law, talking about the doubling of speed of technology and transistor density. Randy Pitchford coming in talking about Moore's Law as well, saying how many transistors are in the Series X? What if Moore's Law is like a 4-minute mile? Your ambitious message for the Xbox One X was inspiring, but for the Series X, well, this feels like more like an excuse. Randy has, and someone came in, and I hate to do like a play-by-play here, but someone came in saying, not sure where this is coming from. Is this, that new Sony exclusive maybe? Randy said on Xbox Gamer, Gamertag Duval Magic, if I could wave a magic wand, Xbox and PlayStation would both be incredibly powerful and keep parity with one another. I think Sony and Microsoft should team up, actually. And this is true. While he does have a PS5 exclusive coming out, Randy's been an Xbox not completely exclusive, but he's been an Xbox gamer forever. That's been his brand. The fact that they moved to PlayStation, yeah, it could have been money, but it also could have been the technology. Companies like Gearbox is one of the large, I'm not saying biggest, it's one of the larger companies for gaming. And they had to have access. They had to have been courted. If they don't already have access to it, they were courted by They were courted by Xbox, by PlayStation, everybody saying, here's our technology, here it is, look how great it is. Every industry does that. They want to grab the Gearbox, Bethesda. They want to grab Rockstar. They want to grab those companies to get them excited about their new product. And you know what? If Randy Pitchford's not excited about it, obviously he leaned towards PS5. It could be money talking. But I think it's probably more than money. I think I've seen this repeatedly where people are saying the Xbox, at least the Series X, it's not as good as people think it is. They're talking about the software, intelligent software, making up for the fact that their transistor density isn't what you would expect for a leap. Also, when you deal with technology leaps like this, you also have to deal with cooling of the units and cooling of those processors and everything else in there. The Xbox's design is really interesting about that, though. It's a large, slow fan on the top, which will actually push a decent amount of air through. And it's running large, slow fan is going to push more than a small, fast fan. It's going to be quieter too. So you have to worry about fan quietness. We're playing. Actually, my wife's playing Red Dead right now in the other room. She was playing earlier while I was eating and taking some notes and stuff. And the PS4 Pro fan kicked in, and that thing can get loud. It's loud enough to notice, and if it's loud enough to notice, I think it's too loud. At this point in the game, it should be whisper quiet. They say whisper quiet, it should be that. We want it to be quiet enough that we don't notice that it's on. And until I get a setup, which I'm thinking about doing, getting a setup where all my consoles and everything are like off in a closet, which obviously would have to have some type of fan or some type of circulation. Until I get to that type of situation, I have to have my consoles right there, unless you're playing Stadia. I have to have my console right there. When the fan kicks on, the fan kicks on. It's unfortunate. I played a bunch of Metal Gear, didn't have a problem, but Red Dead, fan happened, so oh well. I think we only got one other thing in the news. Excuse me while I sneeze. It's live Facebook for you. I have one more thing in the news as we kind of wrap up here. It's not a lot because it's Christmas. A lot of people took off. A lot of news agencies took off, but one decided to republish a joke meme. So someone posted this picture joking about the thanks David, thank you for the bless you. Someone joked about the Xbox Series X that's on the left. That is the design for that Series X, and they photoshopped a PlayStation 5 on the right. And if you can't tell, depending on the size of your monitor or your phone or whatever, or if you're listening here, the photo on the picture on the right is a large black refrigerator. I have to point that out because apparently what was it? I forgot to write down the publisher. Sorry, there was an article that someone posted legitimately thinking that this was actually the design, and they said we could not verify the veracity of the image, but ZHugeX, which is the guy who posted it, has been a good source of information, particularly about things related to the gaming industry. At the time of this publication, Microsoft has not revealed the specific release date of the PlayStation 5 or its retail price. The Japanese console maker has not revealed when it's going to launch it, which is that's the release date. When you said the release date or when they're going to launch it, it's the same thing. The International Business Times, obviously not a giant in the industry, but I find it hilarious that they would post something like that, not only not noticing that it's a fridge, not noticing the joke in there, but then saying things like Microsoft hasn't released the release date and the price. I mean, obviously you don't just stop typing and do something else. The problem here is journalists have gotten to the point now where journalists get paid per article. Their articles have to be short and sweet. That's how our attention span has become. So the articles have to be short and sweet. They post the article, and they need to post more and more and more content to get enough money in order to just make what they should have as a base. I did see someone was saying recently they work for BuzzFeed or something like that, and they were saying they have to do like 3 articles a week. They have to pitch, I think it's like 7 or 8, and like 3 of them will go to so you have to basically either pitch or write X amount of articles, and then they decide to publish. Some of them decide to publish, some of them don't. Also, that's the other thing, the editors when it comes to this, a lot of times are very hands-off. Some of them are hands-on, but a lot of them are hands-off, and they will give their contributors access to publish right there without getting edited. By the way, if you clicked on the story, because I did find the link, and if you click on the story about the article, they have scrubbed the article. They have scrubbed the article to be like, oh, the leak that almost was, and it's like, oh, some people thought this was it's a dumb. They basically scrubbed it and backpedaled and came out with that. So. Yeah, David, you're right. It's all about ad revenue. Keep people watching. That's also why if you click on an article and it has a button that says next, or it says see full page or anything like that, or sometimes if you're on mobile and you're scrolling and all of a sudden you're like, why did the whole page not load? Why is it loading more now? It views that additional scroll or click if you're going next, like it was a slideshow. It views that as another unique view. So it's a way that they can bump their views up. So instead of 1, if it's a list of like, the 10 coolest cities to have burritos in, if you're on your phone looking at that and clicking through those, that counts as 11 because you clicked on the article, then you went through the list. That's 11, 1 plus 10. And then if they've got you there, then they'll have some other cool things like you won't believe what this celebrity looks like now, and you click on that, and then you get another 11 through it. So that's what it's all about now, and it's destroying what was journalism, and it's turning it into sensationalism, and it's destroying like the efficacy when it comes to reporting. We try to be kind of professional. We're laid back, but we don't want to just speculate. We don't want to fanboy. We have things we like, but there are article after article. There's articles, so many things that I could read out here and like speculate. We're going to straight up tell you if we're speculating, if we're talking about theories, if there's rumors, but there's a lot of people who straight up make videos and articles that are like, this is why the PlayStation is this, and none of what they're actually saying can be, they're not reputable, and none of what they're saying can be backed up with facts. And if you're going to talk about what you like or what you don't like, and it's an opinion piece, it should be an opinion piece. We've blurred the lines of that now. Anyways, I'll get off my soapbox. I know this is a shorter episode this week, but I just wanted to make sure you guys still got some love from us here at the TheLanCave. We'll be back next week talking about a lot of stuff. Mandalorian will have ended, so we'll probably be talking about Mandalorian. And then we'll be talking about Star Wars Rise of Skywalker. I think both of those we may do off camera, or sorry, not live, and then post links because we don't want people to be spoiled. Mandalorian finishes up tomorrow morning. Rise of Skywalker came out a week ago, but there's some people who haven't been able to see it or are not caught up. So we may do those and then post like a link to a YouTube video for it. And apologies if that's not an easy way to catch it. It will be a post. We'll try to pin it or something. YouTube's also a really good way to look at the repository of what we're doing. You know, if there's previous episodes, it's a nice way to do it. Anyways, I'm gonna head out and hope you guys had fun. We'll see you next time.